أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد. Surat-al-Masad. The name comes from a word which is the last word in the surah, which we will cover inshallah when we get to that ayah inshallah. So let's do the i'rab first. Tabbat yada abi lahabim wa tab. So we have fi'l madi, mabni ala fatha. Fa'il is coming later, so we will look at it later. And then the ta is for ta'nis. للتأنيث. Yada is fa'il مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ألف لأنه مثنى. وهو مضاف. And then abi is مضاف إليه. وهو مضاف. And lahabin is مضاف إليه. And then واو is حرف عطف. And tabba is again فعل ماضي مبني على فتحة. فاعل مستتر تقديره هو. And this huwa goes to Abu Lahab. And the whole jumla فعلية لا محل لها من الإعراب ابتدائية. Okay. We look at the meanings. Tabbat. So it's a muda'af verb, meaning both the ain and the lam kalama are the same, which is a ba. So ta, ba, ba. Tabba, yatibbu, bab daraba. Tabban, tababan, or tababan. Means to perish, be destroyed. It is a intransitive verb because it doesn't require a mafulun bihi. Okay. Perish. Okay. Yada. Yada comes from the word yadun, the root being ja, dal, ja. Okay. The terminal ja is dropped in the noun yadun itself. It's a feminine noun. As we know, the convention or general convention is that the female body parts, which are in twos, are feminine, and the single body parts are typically in as masculine. Plural being aidin or ayadin. Okay, these are they may look a bit odd, but you'll have to refresh your memory with the manqus nouns to realize why we have a kasra tanween here, like qadin, okay, wadin, madin, because the terminal letter is ja, and as we know that the ja and tanween are not compatible, so the ja is dropped, but the tanween is maintained on the letter before. So those are the plural, and then the dual is yadani, two hands, hand, palm, foreleg, handle or power. Some of the common terms which are used, baina yadayhi, literally means between his two hands. Okay, but what it means is in front of him. Tahta yadihi, under his authority, because Yadun also means to have authority, to control, to power, control. Okay, tahta yadihi, under his authority. Zul jadi, powerful or influential. Okay, so here the noun which is used is yada, which is actually, so there is a noon which was dropped. Let's finish this first. So two hands. Okay. So there was a, so just for your memory, you can put a noon and put a bracket around it. That noon was dropped. Why? Because we know that in the case of musanna, when the musanna comes as a mudaf, the noon is dropped. Okay. Abi is also mudaf ilayhi. We know it is majroor, by the way, because alamatu jarrihi ya'u li'annahu من أسماء الخمسة. It's one of those 5 special nouns which have special endings. Okay? They have a waw ending when they are marfu, coming as mudaf, and they have alif ending when they are mansoob, and ja ending when they are majroor. So this is majroor, so it has a ja ending. So Abi Lahab, we don't literally translate it. So why don't we go look at the meaning of lahab and then we will come back to it. Lahiba yalhabu lahaban. This is actually a bab sami'a, means to burn, to blaze. Lahabun, which is both used as a noun as well as a verbal noun, means flame or raging of fire. Okay. And then the word Abu Lahab is a nickname given to Prophet Muhammad's uncle. His real name was Abul Uza ibn Abdul Muttalib ibn Hashim. Okay? He was one of the paternal uncles of Prophet Muhammad. The name Abu Lahab is given to him to basically indicate or prophesize his ultimate destination being the hellfire. We see that Arabs actually used this type of naming people. For example, a name Abul Harb was used to refer to someone who would always be fighting, who would always be starting the fights. Okay, and we also know the example of Abu Huraira, okay? The father of cats, because he used to have cats. So so this way of naming people is done by Arabs, both in the good sense and also in the bad sense. Of course, this is in the bad sense. So he was known to be Abu Lahab in the at that time, at least from an Islamic point of view. Okay, so we will just refer to him as Abi Lahab here. Okay. Watabba, and he perish. So it is essentially a jumla du'aiya. It is a sentence of making a supplication. May the two hands of Abu Lahab perish, and may he perish. Okay? May the two hands of Abu Lahab be destroyed, and may he be destroyed. Okay. Ayah number 2. Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab. Ma here is nafiya, ma of negation. Aghna is fi'l madi, mabni ala fathatul muqaddara, because it's a naqis verb. Anhu, jar wa majroor. Malu, and who. Malu is fa'il marfu'un wa huwa mudaf, and huwa who is mudaf ilayhi. Wama kasab. So multiple analysis. Actually, I would say two analysis, maybe three actually. Let me give you the first one first, where waw is a harfu atf, ma is ma al mawsula, the relative ma, and kasab is fi'l madi mabni ala fatha, fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu huwa, goes to Abu Lahab, and this whole thing in that case is silatul mawsul, la mahal laha min al i'rab. Okay. And the aid is actually who, which is mahzuf here, understood, which we know that it happens quite often. That would be the aid that will go back to the ma. And because there's a harfu atf, so this ma kasab is ma'tufun ala mal. Okay, malu. Or I should say not the ma kasab, the ma al mawsula is ma'tufun ala mal. Okay. The other analysis which is given for this is, let me just write right here. Wama kasaba, that this ma is said to be ma al masdariya. Ma al masdariya. Kasaba has the same analysis that was over there. So together they make up the masdar muawwal. Okay. Masdar muawwal okay, A, that is wa kasbuhu, wa kasbuhu. Once we look at the verb kasaba yaksibu, we will see the masdar being kasb. So we are replacing the ma al masdariya and kasaba with the masdar of this verb, which is kasb. So kasbuhu will be then ma'tufun ala maluhu. And then the another option is that ma kasaba, that this ma is nafiya, similar to the ma which is ma aghna anhu maluhu is nafiya, and the kasaba has the same analysis. So this is ma'tufun ala ma aghna. Okay. So that analysis also is given by the dictionaries. Thought I should share with you. Let's look at the meanings. Ma aghna, not aghna. The root is ghaniya, yaghna, ghinan or ghana'an. Bab sami'a, to be free from want, to be rich. When used with the harf jar an, it means to be able to spare something, not to need something. Form 4 or bab if'al is aghna yughni ighna'an, to make free from want. So it has a causative meaning. Make rich. With harf jar an, it means to be sufficient, be of use, be of help. Form 10 is istaghna, yastaghni istighna'an. Very similar meaning to form 1. to not need to become rich. The word ghaniyun, plural being aghniya'u, which is mamnu min as-sarf on the version of af'ila'u, means rich, one who is not in need of others. Okay. Ghaniyun is rich, one who is not in need of others. So ma aghna, okay, uh, will have the meaning of to make something. Uh, what did we see here? To make free from want, to make rich. Okay. Um, the simpler translation that I have seen for this word in this context is to not avail. Anhu, him, his mal, mal. Let's look at the word mal. The root is mim waw lam. Form 2 is mawwala yumawwilu tamwilan, to make rich. Okay. The word malun, plural being amwal, means property, possessions, wealth, or money. So his wealth will not avail him, will not be useful or beneficial for him. Wama kasab. Okay. And so I'm translating it based on the analysis that this is mal mausula, and that which wama kasab. Okay. Kasab, a very commonly used verb actually in the Quran. Let's take a look at it. Kasaba yaksibu kasban, bab daraba, to gain something for oneself or for someone else. Okay. To earn, to profit, to win. Form 8 of that has a very similar meaning but has several differences. Iktasaba yaktasibu iktisaban, bab ifti'alun, means to earn, to acquire a bad thing for oneself. Okay, so it is used in the context of acquiring something bad and also for oneself. And the next statement, the kasaba typically is used for something good, but iktasaba is refers to gaining something bad, but it's not a universal and hard and fast rule. Kasaba can also be used to get something or gain something, earn something bad as well. Okay, but I thought I should share with you the summary of it. So ma kasaba here will be he earned. Okay. So ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab. So his wealth will not avail him, okay, will not benefit him, and that which he earned. It's basically, so his wealth and that which he earned will not be beneficial for him, will not benefit him. So again, this is a prophecy about Abu Lahab, that he is going to be destroyed. Of course, there's a prophecy about with his name as well, that he will end up in the Jahannam. And it says, may his two hands perish, and may he perish. His wealth and that which he has earned will not benefit him. Ayah number 3, Sayasla naran zat al-lahab. Sa versus yasla. Okay. Sa, we know, is harfa istiqbal. Yasla, fi'l mudare marfu. Fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu huwa, goes to Abu Lahab again. Naran, mafulun bihi. Zata is naat linar, and lahab is mudaf ilayhi. And if you look at the meanings for this, first of all, sa, we know is a particular feature of istiqbal. Uh, thought I should capture the fact that this refers to near future as opposed to saufa, which is also a harf istiqbal, which denotes distant future. Okay. The word yasla comes from the root sod, lam, ya. There is another similar word which is sod, lam, wow, and the word salat or salawat comes from the sod, lam, wow root. The sod, lam, ya is what we are looking at here. Saliya, yasla, okay. Salan, I should have mentioned the bab here. This is bab samia. I'll correct it inshallah. Transitive verb means to enter into fire. That's kind of implied, or to be burnt in fire. Okay. The ism file from this is salin, again manqus noun, one who suffers the heat of scorching fire. And the form 2, tasliyatan, is a masdar from it, means burning in the fire. While we are at it, let's also look at the meanings of nar. So the root for that is noon waw ra. The sulasi mazid verb on bab in bab taf'il is nawwara yunawwiru tanwiran, means to light, to illuminate. Form 4 is anara yuniru inaran. And a very similar meaning to light, to illuminate. And the female, so nar is a female noun, plural is niranun, meaning fire. Nur is also from the same root, plural being anwar, meaning light, brightness, or guidance. And another word that we see quite often used in Urdu also is munir, which is ism fa'il from bab if'al, one giving light. So so in this case, this ayah number 3, sayasla, he will burn, sorry, I should say. So, okay. So soon is implied, he will enter to burn or burn, okay, naran, in a fire, zata. This is zu, the noun zu, which we know always comes as mudaf. This is a feminine of it, having or possessing. Lahab. So we saw already lahab before. Lahab means flame or raging of fire. Having, blazing fire. Soon he will enter to burn or burn in a fire having blazing fire. Wamra'atuhu hammalatul hatab. Ayah number 4. Wamra'atuhu hammalatul hatab. Waw is harf atf again. Imra'atuhu. So imra'atu is ma'tufun ala fa'il for yasla. The fa'il of yasla, which was huwa, which was Abu Lahab. Amratu is ma'tufun ala that fa'il. Wa mudaf, and who is mudaf ilayhi. And this mudaf ilayhi, actually, who also goes to Abu Lahab. Okay. And then hamma latal. This is interesting. Notice here, hamma lata is mansoob. Okay, so that again should trigger our thought as to what does that mean. Um, so there are a few different analysis which are given. Let me share the first one. First one that's given is that this is a mafulun bihi. Okay. Li fi'l ma'zuf. تقديره أشتم. Okay. أشتم. That's by the one analysis, and I'll share another one with you later as well. Hamalatal, and then hatab is simply mudaf ilayhi because hamalata was also mudaf. Okay. Another explanation that's given for this is okay that there is I mean some believe that there is a different qira'ah for it, and it is not hammalata but hammalatu. Okay, hammalatu, and in that case, if for that recitation, this then becomes naat li imra atu. Sorry. Okay. Of course, if it is hamma lata, it cannot be naat because it is mansub and imraatu is marfu. So according to some scholars, there is another recitation which is hamma latu, and in that case it is naat. And then there is only one Arab dictionary actually talked about one other analysis, but none of the other dictionaries actually even discussed that at all. So that's why I did not go with it. Was that hammalata is actually a hal, and that's why it is mansub. And interestingly enough, when I looked at it, I said that actually, at least in my simple mind, it kind of explains the meaning. But then, of course, there's something I don't understand, and because these scholars, of course, have done so much research. Only one, which is Bahjat, gave the option of that being it being a hal. None of the other, like 3 or 4 other Arab dictionaries that I consulted, gave that option. They either gave the option, most of them gave all of them gave the option of mafulun bihi for a fail mahzuf, taqdiru ashtumu or azummu. That was another fail that was given. Or that there's a different qira'ah, which is hammalatu, and in that case, there is a naat for imra'atu. Okay. So I am sharing all that with you, inshallah. In terms of the meanings, imra'atu comes from the word. So root is mim ra, mim ra hamza. Maru'a yamru'u muru'atan. Okay, means to be manly. Sabab karuma, to be manly. And then there are other variant spellings for this verb with different meanings. Mara'a or mari'a yamra'u, or maru'a yamru'u with a different masdar. And it has the meaning is to be wholesome, healthful in the context of a food. The word, the noun mar'un means person or one. Okay, when I say one, not in the sense of 1, 2, 3, but you know how we say one must do wudu before praying. In that context, one must do wudu. So, like one meaning to someone, an individual. That's essentially what it means. And then imra'atun, which is the feminine of mar'un, and the definite is al mar'atu. And I wrote both the spelling because please note that the spelling is there's a slight difference in the spelling of the two. It's not just a matter of putting al, but rather there is something else going on. Imra'atu or imra'atun being indefinite, has a sukoon on meme and ra has a fatha. But then in al mar'atu, meme has a fatha and ra has a sukoon. So just wanted to point that out. The meaning being woman or wife. And the plural we know is actually nisa'un or niswatun. Okay, nisa'un or niswatun. Nisa'un or niswatun. Niswatun being the jamu qilla, plural of rarity, and nisa'un is a general plural woman. Okay, but singular is imra'atu, also means wife. So here it means it has a meaning of wife, and his wife, and his wife, hamma latal. So hamma, or um, sorry, before I go to hamala, the word the verb that we brought in, which we said was mahzuf, means shatama yashtumu, yashtimu. So two different babs, shatman. Okay, so it's either bab nasara or bab zaraba, to revile, to scold, to curse. So when we say ashtumu, we say I curse. Okay, I curse. And then hamala yahmilu hamlan. That's the root. Bab daraba, to carry, to bear. The noun hamlun, haml, pregnancy. Also, it's used to refer to the child during the pregnancy. Hammalatun is actually a feminine of hammalun, which is ismul fa'il ala sigha mubalagha. The version being fa'alun, like jabbarun, like ghafarun, razaqun. And the meaning being somebody who carries things, who's always or usually carrying things. Like if somebody is doing it as a profession, we call it a porter, basically. Okay. And by the way, because we are talking about the wife of Abu Lahab, her actual name was J- Jamil Arwa bint Harb bin Umiya, and she was the sister of Abi Sufyan. He was sister of Abu Sufyan. So Wamra Atuhu, this is the so his wife. So that's connected with the Yasla, the pile of Yasla. So he will burn in a fire having blazing fire, and his wife, and his wife. And then basically the next sentence is, I curse the carrier of the firewood. I curse the carrier of the firewood. Part of the story that I read somewhere was that she used to basically spread those thorns or branches with thorns in the path of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, so that he would get injured with those. Okay, so this was kind of in response to that. I curse the carrier of the firewood. And then last ayah, ayah number 5, fi jidiha hablum mim masad. Okay, harfu jar, fi jidi ism majroor wa huwa mudaf, and ha is damir muttasil fi mahalli jarrin mudaf ilayhi. Hablun is, so I should have mentioned actually, fi jidi is jar majroor, shibu jumla, khabar muqaddam, and hablun is mubtada muakhar. And men, again, harfu jar, and masad is ism majroor, and together they are coming as, jar majroor is coming as fi mahalli raf'in naat li habl. It's a naat for habl. We know that when for an indefinite noun, if it's followed by jar majroor or a jumla, that jar majroor jumla can actually be its naat, and that's what the case is here. So GD, Let's look at the meaning. Comes from jada, yajadu. It's about samea, jim, ja, dal, to have a long and beautiful neck. Jidun means the neck itself. But note that this is a different root than jim waw dal, which is a jada yajudu, which means to be or become good. Jayyidun is a noun from it, which means good or perfect. In jawwada yujawwidu tajweedan, bab taf'il, the general meaning is to do well, but specific meaning is to the art of reciting the Quran. Okay. So fi jidiha, in her neck, hablum, habl, habala yahbulu hablan, bab nasara, to bind, to tie with a rope. The word habl or plural hebal, okay, means rope or cord. Okay. In Fiji, hablum, in a rope, there is a rope, is a rope, mim masad, from masada yamsudu masdan, to twist a rope. The noun masad itself has a meaning of those palm fibers, and one of the dictionary gave the meaning the fibers that grow at the roots of the branches of a palm tree. Okay. Where the branches are coming off of the tree, right at the root of it, there are these fibers which are hanging, and those fibers, when they used, those fibers can be used to make a rope, basically. So that's what this masad means, from palm fibers. In her neck is a rope from palm fibers.